pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Agenda approved. Motion approved. Both sets of minutes at the same time, is that okay?
So moved.
A second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
I'll have to abstain from the one, but on the other one.
Communications.
Had a conservation meeting on Wednesday night. Good things were, said by the public about it. He was working on a 3-year plan of things he would like to do out there, so it'd be interesting to see what they come up with. They've also showed us pictures of more clearing they've been doing, and project updates, and what's on tap for this year, so. It was just a good informational meeting with him again. Yesterday was Heritage of Aging Committee meeting. They were talking about how the funding that comes from the State House. And they're worried if they get the wrong person as lieutenant governor or something, that, somebody doesn't like aging people or something, they might start cutting the funds for that.
I wonder when they'll decide on who's that supposed to be.
Yeah, that woman, they had a woman on there yesterday, she was speculating.
My name wasn't brought up.
No, it wasn't. I guess you could throw your hat in there, right?
For what, aging?
No, lieutenant governor.
No, I don't have to throw my hat into that, that's happening.
I think that was the only meeting. Oh, I had a DCAT meeting yesterday morning, that's just an interesting group of people, so leave it at that.
They had a Pioneer Cemetery meeting last night, and I have submitted my resignation from that at the end of the year. And they are looking to replace with Scott Hamlin, who does come to our meetings on occasion. He'll be good, he's got high energy, he'd be really good for them. I would recommend we approve him later on. Also,
Are you resigning at the first of the year then?
yeah. And then, I guess that's it for now.
I didn't make the meeting with the Veterans Affairs Commission, but I did talk to Jennifer Olson a little bit about it. They really geared up collecting items for veterans. They have a box over at the courthouse. There's a list on their Facebook page of things they need, coats and books and games and things like that. And she said it's really, really going well. Still doing their coffees and those are going well. Other than that, I did drive up, I had to go to Cedar Rapids yesterday, so I pulled into that residence that was cleaned up and looked it over. It looks really good. I've been by there several times when, in the past few years, and always thought what these neighbors must think. And actually, there were some neighbors outside that came over and thanked us for it.
Just imagine the rooms that were living in there.
I couldn't imagine I don't think they touched the inside, so I don't know what the inside's gonna be like, but the one neighbor was across the street, and of course, they had to look out their living room window and see that every day for the last probably 10 years. So they're really, really happy about it getting cleaned up, and they kind of want to know what the next stages were gonna be, and I said, I really didn't know. I said, I'm sure it's still probably a lot of paperwork and stuff needs to be done yet before it's finally decided the actual outcome. That's all I had.
I didn't have anything.
You're gonna reach out to Adam, I can't find his number. Might be a little late.
Adam might be late?
No, we might be waiting.
Well, I can,
Oh,
let me tell them come fit at 9:30 instead.
Yeah,
How big next agenda today?
we have one liquor license?
Yep.
Got that?
motion to approve.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Nothing on the clerk?
Yes. I've got a call, the ad worked tentatively. I can't get it the last time, I don't recollect it, but she did call me yesterday afternoon and I've got her number and I told her
You got a strong potential.
very strong potential.
Sweet.
Yes. She's got a journalism and a finance background.
And we were looking for a pulse.
Yes.
Certificate of adjustment, tax list item. You guys have that in your packet. Which, I don't think you said it in public or not, can you? If we can. Why were they just two listed?
Oh, there were amendments.
Both in Millersburg, right?
The legal description is the same thing, I think.
One is, it's the same property, the same parcel. One is the special assessments. The other is the tax.
The treasurer's telling us we should do this. Is there a motion to approve the tax
I'll make that motion.
adjustment?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved.
I guess I do have one other thing too. I'll forward information on signage. Looks like it's scheduled for next week.
I don't think I signed this.
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to have it.
And I had the EMA meeting the other night where we approved the adjustment, the amendment to the budget to get the money back into the budget and approved buying a different rescue truck that we would not pay anything on until next November. If we order, I think they ordered it now, it might show up in April. And then we'll get rid of the other rescue truck. Does anybody have anything left for next week? Where we're at, we're on the 29th, we won't meet, correct?
Correct.
Just so you know, we don't meet the 29th.
I'll put that on the calendar right now. So we just have engineer, transportation, Johnson, Pioneer Cemetery.
Pioneer Cemetery.
Yeah.
So did you hear about the salvage yard closing?
No.
Permanently?
That's what they were saying, they're gonna close it up. So I don't know if that's all scuttlebutt or they can't find enough people to work it.
What's that?
In here in town, across from,
Can't believe it. would take
County site.
time to-
they
And
just
a
put,
staple of Marengo for,
Well, and they put that much money into it.
they put a new building in and it's got scales expensive as heck. So I don't know, that's just the rumor. Cause they got a few dumpsters around from businesses that, like, well, they used to have candies, I don't think got candies anymore.
they still might, but it might go to Muscatine too, or might just bring the truck up.
I hope not.
I know, I know the county used it all the time, just not odds and ends all the time. I usually make a trip there once a year, find a pile and clean it out.
About once a month.
Where's the nearest junkyard then? No.
You got Grinnell, you got Kyoto, you got Iowa City.
Yeah.
I've never been to the Kyoto one.
There used to be right in the middle of town, Hartford, where it was before.
Oh, was it?
It was right in the middle, smack middle of town. I don't think it's much better down in Kyoto either.
The Grinnell one was pretty interesting, that's all I've been always. They had a rail spur going through theirs.
Or what?
Train.
Oh,
It seems like a lot of people use this one, I guess.
but no, it's
Well, we could get people to show up, is what.
Yeah. Be a shame if all our residents have to go a long ways now.
Is that a private place or is it run by the city or?
It's private. It got bought out
Muscatine
a couple of
Metals.
years ago. It used to be Rogatines, and then it got bought out, and it became Muscatine Metals. Maybe it's been longer than 2 years. So, yeah, we have Tuesday, Randy says we have to come back in.
for this afternoon, see if I won't come.
Is that on Q Avenue?
Yep.
Right east of my house?
Yes.
By Burley's, right?
And then the rest of the guys have been putting spot rock down. We put a lot of rock down lately and grading also. So that's what they've been up to. As far as the office goes, did you guys all get my email this week?
Is that for February 27th?
Yeah, okay, because I made a I pulled all the emails into like a group email.
If I say no, do I have to go?
Yeah, you gotta go. But I didn't know if it actually worked. I had tried some test ones, so. But anyway, we're supposed to, pass these out to any community members or anything like that. Got some posted in the courthouse and in other places, but yeah, feel free to pass those around, or if anybody wants some extras to hang anywhere, you're more than welcome to. So, you guys did get the email, and that's great.
And this is required by the state that we do this?
No, this is the grant that you applied for some years ago. And it just takes time. So the grant was for each county to have a safety action plan. And this is how we go about getting one. For part of that, you do public input. So I think Kevin's aware we need $1,000 for our salt shed.
So is it?
Nothing. As part of the storm that went through a couple months ago, the county, I don't know how much money the county got as a whole. But they took, for the whole county, they took the deductible out of our salt shed.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Can we take that out? We should all do that. From the money we got. The deductible is.
So then how do you want it?
Can we take it from the money that we received?
Yeah.
Sweet. Or if we only get 900 back, that's fine. $100 out of our deductible.
There you go. It just became 900.
So if we only get 900, Woody does not get his cookies, but if we get the full 1,000, we get Woody some cookies.
It needs to cut back anyhow.
Yeah.
All right, next thing I have up here, so, Ehlers, well, I talked to them last Friday, we're going through some stuff, trying to get it resolved, and none of that would be a big deal. But I did talk to, his name is Jeffrey Edgar there. They do, him and Mike Galloway, they'd be happy to put together a training proposal concerning investigation of union covered stuff. So if us or myself, the sheriff's office doesn't have a union anymore, right? Is that correct?
They do.
They do. Okay, so the sheriff's office could be involved too, but how to cover when we do investigations or discipline with union folk, this is the stuff you can say, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do.
So it should probably be you guys and the personnel committee,
Something like that.
or all the supervisors.
Well, I personally, well, if you guys are all there, we'd have to be able to meet. I don't know how it works for training for you guys, but, so it's the highlighted part there, so we can pass it around, or I can forward you that email too, but, I think that would be an okay idea,
Figure out how we all can be there.
And then, but the yes, I think it'd be a good idea for you guys all to be there, but I think the training itself, it does cost a little bit of money. But I do think it would be a good idea to touch base. Heck, I don't even care
Okay.
So,
Where would it be at here?
wherever, my office here, it doesn't. Yeah, somewhere in Marengo though. But, you know, if you have any specific questions, you could help walk through that, or this is how you should handle any investigation, or this is how you should handle any,
Is this a rise from our investigation thing?
yeah,
It's pretty much just union employees.
it would be, yeah. I mean, he could probably cover other stuff too, not union.
I was just wondering if it's something we wanna, our other elected officials to be,
I can ask if to do some non-union stuff.
yeah, I don't know if that's the direction we wanna go.
Yeah, I think so. It's best to stay on stance on this stuff.
Yeah. Because when you go to do an investigation or you go to do discipline, and this goes for any department, you know, you gotta be very careful. If you do one thing wrong, and you do fire somebody, then they're coming after you. Or if you discipline, like, so I think it's a good thing. It's like I was telling him, like, even if the union, I think it's good just for each side to know the rules or know the procedure protocol. I think the more you know, the better. It can't hurt. So, I'll put that and I'll ask.
If you're gonna ask them what we have to do to make sure we can all attend as far as the open meeting. There's got to be a regulation under education that we can do this.
Okay. So I think it's good. The other thing I went around to some offices this week, and so we got a bill from Solutions that is $500 to have our scanner for the next 18 months. This is where, like, for software. And then it was another $600 for a warranty on the scanner. So $1,200. And then I was thinking, well, how many offices have these? Because the county could be, you know, if there's 7 offices, that could be $8,000 a year that we're paying Solutions for something like this. And Connie's only on hers for an hour a week, you know, the scanner. We use the other scanner quite a bit. Well, I went around to the offices then, and it turns out that most of them just pay $300. We're paying $5 because now it's an 18 months. So everyone was on the same track there, but I feel like, so we could maybe call Solutions and get us all under one entity, you know, where we pay $300 a year for all of us together. But I don't know how that, I'm not explaining this real well. Our office has a scanner. We pay for the software update. The treasurer's offices has a scanner. They pay for their software. Assessors has one. They pay for theirs. Everybody is paying separately. I feel that with Solutions, we are one entity. I feel like we should be paying just $300 for the county. Okay. Now, that might create troubles and might not even be possible, and it might create more trouble, right? If it's only $300 for 6 of them, that's $1,800 a year. That's not as big a deal as I was originally thinking. I was thinking it could be like $8,000 a year, okay? But it turns out it's more like $2,000. So it's maybe not even something we want to pursue or ask. I don't know.
You can ask.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to speak? Because I don't know if I want to be the one that, you know, starts getting in between all the offices.
Oh, you'd rather we got in between them.
I can. But I'm also feeling that like,
But it's.
with solutions, we are acting as if we are
All
8
separate
different entities here and not one. And I think solutions, they probably don't even look at it. They probably don't even care. They just send you the bill. And it could be for more than just scanners. I think it'd just be a solid idea. I don't know if you're gonna save any money. I think it'd be a solid idea for somebody to like look into it, to spearhead it. You could save thousands. Odds are you might not find anything. They might not say, they might talk you out of it. But for a couple hours worth of work, there's the potential to save thousands of dollars per year. You do it once, then it's thousands of dollars per year. I'm just saying, I think somebody should look into it.
So who's it gonna be?
I mean, it can
I
be.
think he's right.
No offense, and since you brought it, I think it should be you, since you understand what you're talking about better.
Either that or I think.
Which the way I
Have
just
your-
explained it was horrible.
Have your person understand better than us.
Well, I'm the lame duck anyway, but, going forward, someone needs to.
We don't use solutions.
And I know.
Use solutions.
We don't use solutions.
Yeah, they have a different program for their medical stuff.
And I know, I mean, I almost think, and I know that after talking with some of the offices, I don't want to say they're not happy with solutions, but you know, they have recommendations. I almost think that
It's not.
when we do a safety meeting or something like that, we just get a couple people to stay, or we switch gears and the safety meeting and go to a solutions meeting. To where, hey, what's your either complaints about solutions? What is everybody paying with solutions?
Because they're not what they used to be.
That might be a good start.
We would need to have a meeting with everyone before I just go rogue.
I wasn't here when we started with solutions, but it just seems, Randy knows, but why are we using a company that's clear up in Spencer, Iowa? Isn't there something closer?
That's just the.
There's nothing closer?
Not the handles.
No. And then once they get it set up for like one county, right, they can run it cheaper to do other counties. So like, hey, we have this program that runs great for Iowa County. We can sell it to Keokuk County too. And it cost us $100,000 to set it up for Iowa County. I get it. But then there's another one. There's another program, not just solutions, but I don't know, is it called Troy? Something like that. Might be more expensive, but a lot of counties have it apparently. I feel like each of the offices is acting on their own. And I think, I'm not saying that, I know this for a fact, it's possible we could save money if we act as one. But we would have to have a meeting with all the office heads to get a good direction of what we want to go. They'd have to bring their bills, like everybody look at your invoices. Is this even worth pursuing? You know, do we want to stay, if it's only $200 an office, we may want to stay separate just so that everybody can, because everybody's got different printers. We may want to stay separate. It's just something that I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention that, you know, I had questions and then I walk around, everybody else has questions or they're frustrated with a certain part of solutions. But I'm the one that talks to you guys on a weekly basis. So I just thought I would bring it up.
I think that'd be a good start to do that after a safety meeting, but not only what the problems are, but if somebody has suggestions for the solutions for the problems. Not to use the word
Is that just
solutions.
for your scanning or for your whole printer and everything?
Well,
We lease our printers.
I pay different for a different printer. And that's what 99% of our office uses. But Connie scans in her payroll and her claims, and they put barcodes on them, so it uploads that. But she uses it for like 45 minutes a week, right? The assessor's office, I talked to them, they use theirs for 2 hours once a year. Treasurer's offices use theirs all the time. Recorder's uses theirs nonstop.
We just have our
Understand.
So, but I'm pretty sure that Solutions doesn't look at this and care. They don't look and go, hey, Iowa County, you guys could bundle and save.
Yeah, that's,
I'm sure that they're just sending out bills automatically.
the ambulance uses Crush IT to maintain our IT stuff, so. Sorry, I don't get in the weeds.
And are you happy with that? Do you want to go to Solutions? Do you want us to go to there?
Well, Crush IT's out of Waynesburg, so they can come on site and fix our problems if we have them.
Sure. Did they just do medical stuff or did they?
No, it's just IT. They don't,
Is this the IT company that was managing the health department too?
could have been Crush IT,
No, I doubt it.
Jake.
He's a fairly new company.
There's the one at the health department that went in and erased everything. I don't want to step foot on our property again, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, Jake's a really smart guy.
That was not
How many years ago was that? Jake's only been around.
3 years ago.
He was here 3 years.
Jake's very reasonable. And yeah, I don't know if he has enough time to take on more, though.
We can't switch a lot of stuff just to back to the, how the software's all written in there.
I mean, I don't know, the city uses Marco to do all their IT stuff.
I just think it would be beneficial to, because nobody's probably looked at this and ever, that if we just get together, and like I said, we may spend a half hour chit-chatting about it and come to the realization that we don't want to touch it.
So who is in charge of putting the safety meeting on?
Me,
So can you put that in the agenda?
yeah, we talk about all kinds of stuff on.
I mean, that way, just before we have the meetings, that way they're ready. What are your concerns about whatever, so they're ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you guys don't usually come to those. Does somebody want to sit in on one of those or just want me to take
Well,
notes and
Alan
pass it
has.
on to you?
Alan won't be here, so
Well, just let us know the next meeting is,
January.
we'll have a new appointment by then.
Yep. Table to January.
Just something to think about. I'm not saying there's a solution, but
No solution for
There is a
that.
I mean, your biggest thing is they maintain all your
Programming.
computers up here, so.
they do. But I just want to know if, I think they're sending out bills to each office
They probably-
automatically. I don't think Solutions looks at it. I think if we could just maybe get together and compare bills, we might be able to save something. Might not. But I think we should all just get together and talk about it. We are grinding, F12. They did start this week. They're gonna bring in another machine next week too, so, I think he's thinking to have a really good portion of it done by the end of next week.
Did he give you a quote on G?
Not yet. I was only out there Tuesday. No, they started Wednesday. So I was out there Wednesday at noon and the boss man wasn't there. But he did say he was gonna look at it.
But if they're gonna be gone by next week or be done by next week, then it's not too late, isn't it?
No, I'm going out there today.
But we'd still have to approve it, would we not?
No, I'll just approve it.
Okay.
No, I'll approve it. And then we're still doing the culvert and bridge stuff. And, we'll have some lettings and coming up here. And I did send out today, it's not on here, I'll mention more later. I did send out to get quotes for, that'll also be on the 13th to do some rumble strip grinding at approaches for intersections.
Is there a lot of the bad?
5 sets of 3 that I think could be tuned up. And they're already there, so they just need to be cut a little bit deeper, and it's the right time of year that I think that somebody could come and do them really fast. We'd spend more on mobilization. But that would help take a little bit of liability off us.
We got a whole Seth and he'll be here for your 5-year plan.
Sweet. Okay. So I'll keep a little bit of stuff in there. It'll be a little bit redundant for you guys, but
That's fine, you need to.
extra 5 minutes worth of
The little books that you make are nice. Any other questions for Nick?
Thanks, Nick.
And what is today? Today's the 15th. Okay, so next week's not Thanksgiving. All right, we'll see you next week.
See you, Nick. Have a good weekend.
Late Thanksgiving.
That's
Late. Morning, guys.
Mr. Robbie?
And come here.
Still haven't sold your lot yet, Adam.
No, still waiting for you, Al. I get calls every now and then, but I call them, tell them what I want, and I don't get a call back.
What was your price here?
It's 49,500. Paid for it. Yeah. But I haven't even got an offer either, so. But maybe, I don't know, I think interest rates going down, hopefully we'll get stuff moving.
That's an ideal lot.
So, yeah, somebody will want it if I don't ever, I mean, maybe I'll build on it someday if I keep still.
Where is that?
Corner lot, take Western Avenue all the way down to the end,
Oh,
where you can't go no more, it's on the right-hand side.
down by Highway.
But I thought they were started moving, so I was like, I better get a lot, and I changed my mind, so. Anyway, my, November EMS report. For October, we had 153 calls, 119 of those were transports and 34 were refusals. For the year, we are averaging 153.5 calls per month. 116 and a quarter of those are transports, and 37 and a quarter are cancels or refusals. October, 32 times, both ambulances were busy at the same time. 8 of those 32 times, we were able to staff a backup extra ambulance. Of those 8 times, we had 2 backup ambulance calls. We did not have to request an out-of-county ambulance in October. And then we had 24 transfers out of Compass. Finance, October expenses, that new ambulance was delivered and serviced 1st of November, came, I think, October 24th, around there. So we had that large expense. So October expenses, $443,966, compared to our normal monthly budget of $211,182. Year-to-date actual expenses, $1,024,580, and our year-to-date budget, $844,729. So currently, we're year-to-date wise, we're sitting $179,581 over budget. Next 7 months, that'll work itself out. October actual revenue, that was up $131,116. Year-to-date revenue is up $446,648 compared to a year-to-date budget of $372,833. So actual revenue minus budget revenue, so revenue is up $73,814. Actual expenses minus actual revenue, $577,932, compared to a budgeted, what we expected for a budgeted difference of $471,896. So right now we're in a negative cost variance of $106,037. But we'd be okay. We spread the cost of the ambulance out over the next 7 months. So it's just going to look bad for a couple months here. Our average charge, $1,270.37 compared to average revenue of $800.99. And our costs are up a little bit too now. It's all out of whack with that $266,000 ambulance purchase. But cost per response is $1,668.70. And year-to-date for bill or actual transport, $2,203.40. Kind of hard to look at those numbers because everything's out of whack with that big purchase of that ambulance and spread that out over the whole year. So, questions on the budget? Actual payroll and stuff is looking pretty good. We take that, purchase that new ambulance out there. Everything's looking pretty good in the budget. The other line items and revenues coming in more than expected. So
Happy with the new one?
Pretty happy with the one, we had a little issue with the chains. It's got automatic chains on it, and they just, when we backed it in the garage, in Marengo, they were getting stuck in the strip floor drain, so we had to make some adjustments to our floor drain.
They said that low.
Yeah, they just, I don't know if it's the way, I don't know if it's the way the garage is sloped, or, but they do sit that low. Yeah, we had the guy out working on it Tuesday.
How does the automatic chains work? Sarah was
So
talking
it's
about that. I was like,
Oh, yeah, they're weird. You should-
So in one of the outside compartments, there's an air compressor. So you flip a switch in the front in the cab, pushes them down. And then when you're done, you flip the switch down and bring the guy down.
they attach to the tires?
They're on an arm, so they swing down in front of the tire and then you run over the chain. They're on a wheel, the wheel goes beside the tire. If you go on the internet, look up Rudd tire chains,
Oh, yeah, it's weird.
there's videos
Look up
of
what?
Rudd, R-U-D-D, tire chains.
I'll have to, because I never heard of it.
Or there's another brand called OnSpot, ours are happen to be Rudd.
Flip the raccoons out of the way.
Yeah,
So then it attaches to the wheel or?
it just throws it underneath, you just drive over it, it keeps it spinning, and you drive over it, there's like 6 different chains.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. You see them, you're starting to see them on more ambulances, but fire trucks is kind of where they first were. Started seeing them in emergency services, but. It's a little hiccup on that. In the process of that, I might as well just explain that now. I was measuring where these chains were at so I could figure out where to fix the drain, and I pulled out the tape measure that we had at work. And the tape measure was tore about 21 inches, and I whipped that tape measure out, because the tape measure had a slice in it, caught my finger. So I had to report that injury and go get a tetanus shot. I called Kevin, and I told Kevin, I'm like, I'm gonna see you guys in 2 days. I'll update everybody. Well, I think did I send you all an email too? Maybe I did that too.
Did you write yourself up for using floor equipment?
Yeah, I did, yep, I threw the equipment away. I don't even know why I didn't even know. I mean, how many times in my life have I used a tape measure? Thousands, right?
And you know what?
But obviously that
Your
quite
dad,
that
your
far.
dad would have said, oh, it's okay,
Yeah.
we'll use it again next job.
Put a Band-Aid on, back where you
Put the tape on it.
That's how we were raised.
Activity, our normal regular stuff, deposit claims, scheduling, medication, machine collections, records requests. The meetings for the preparedness region and the grant, we had the executive board meeting at the end of October, and the healthcare coalition we just had, and the EMS collaboration we just had. Protocol updates, they're completed from our medical director. We got hard copies made. We're gonna have training next Wednesday. And then got some online training, testing to do, like we go live. We did a career day Wednesday this week down in Williamsburg, at the rec center. Kirkwood hosts a career day, and they have 30 different kinds of careers set up there, and they bring kids, juniors, from every school in Iowa County, and they include playing in their sports. Maybe a juniors.
I know you do something.
Yeah, I would agree. That's the only one. But anyway, they were all good. That was fun. Other than that, did that.
Yeah, you had a good turnout.
Yeah. Some don't know anything about EMS, so they just, whether they go into it a career or not, it's weird, like, to understand EMS. That it's actually a career, so. The Iowa EMS Association Conference was, November 8th and 9th. That's well, it's actually, there's a pre-conference day, I didn't go to that, but it's a 2-day conference, and then some in Des Moines, annual thing. They bring speakers in from all over. Well, this year they had a speaker in from Israel, even, so it's real nice to learn some stuff that's going on in other parts of the country and how they're doing stuff and get new ideas. So I did attend that, and also during that, they have an award ceremony, and one of our full-time EMTs who's in paramedic class received a scholarship for $500 towards her paramedic tuition. So that was pretty cool. We got to go up on stage, and I got to represent Kirkwood because Kirkwood wasn't able to go, so. Then we had the EMS Advisory Council meeting on November 6th. The council meeting, EMS Advisory Council has to meet at least once a year for our preparedness grant, EMS system development grant. And we have to review our EMS system standards to make sure we're meeting those. We have to pick a gap that we want to work on. This year we picked the protocol stuff that we're already working on, make it easiest for us. And then we also discussed the need to staff an additional ambulance, talk a little bit about the EMS essential service levy, if that can help supplement our budget so we can staff another ambulance. And then we may, I think that was Mike's suggestion, maybe consider a survey to gauge kind of support before we move forward with that. But just to kind of start the initial maybe discussion with you guys and the public to see where we have support for that. So we'll have more discussion on that. So, and then I do have the system plan for you. I'm going to hand out for you guys to take home for homework.
Homework, what?
Well, I want you to read it rather than throw it in front of you and say approve this. So, equipment vehicles, new ambulance in service. Ken already talked about that chain thing. The guy came out that same day and repaired that.
Just looked at the video, that is pretty cool.
I use medical equipment, hell, snafu, my bad, I should have talked to that company a little bit better. So we're got the right company now, and everything's working that direction. We're set up to, you guys got to set up to have a public hearing December 5th, I think. We also cleaned out our strip drains at each garage. And then personnel wise, trying to finish up any evaluations, been kind of busy with new ambulance, getting it all set up, and then the conference and stuff going on. But safety wise, our normal routine stuff, drug screens, background checks, claims, physical testing, injuries right here, my injury. And then our next, that was our last safety meeting. So October, November, December, January, I can tell you what it's going to be. I think it's the 3rd. Calendar pulled up here. January. I believe it's going to be January 21st, but I don't have it on my calendar. Well, I haven't put it on I haven't put out the meeting thing yet, but I believe it's going to be January 21st. It's the 3rd Tuesday. All right, Randy? You remember?
Okay.
I think so. I need to send out the meeting around binder apparently. HIPAA, I got nothing. The ISAC did send out a updated HIPAA training, which I sent out to the departments that do HIPAA this morning. So they can do their updated training. And then that's all I have on my report. Then I was going to hand out these system plans. Not very many. So you guys, it's been like 4 years ago since we reviewed this and approved it. There's a few changes, which really are changes to ambulance policies that are appendices in the back of this. The one change was if the first responders go along driving the ambulance, we would give them a stipend. The other change was we require ambulance reports to be completed in 24 hours now. And then there was one other change. I highlighted the parts that changed, like 3 of them. Oh, our CQI policy, we just changed some stuff on how we do written audits. So for that, nothing's really changed, but I'm assuming nobody knows this by heart, so I brought copies here.
Pretty good assumption.
Read it or not, I was gonna ask you next time I see you to approve it, so. It is on the website, the current version. I don't have a few updates on there that.
Something here, something to read at night.
So when's the assignment due?
So most of this are the standard. Alan don't care. These are the standards that the state has set, and then explains how we meet the standards. And the appendices are some of our policies, which we already have in place. But it's just a formality, I guess, to put our blessing on it, if you guys would do that. We'll put that, I didn't get it on the agenda. Part of the other reason is I didn't get it on the agenda in time.
I thought you were being thoughtful. We had time.
Oh, I was gonna tell Brandy Wednesday, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna print it off so you guys can actually look at it. Rather than just say, hey, approve this, 'cause I didn't really wanna go through the whole thing. There's just stuff in there like response times, organization, how it's organized. You know, dispatch will be trained in emergency medical dispatch. A lot of stuff that we probably just assume that there is actually processes. Any questions or concerns? Oh, while I'm here, I didn't lead off this way, so I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. We blew it up inside dual on an ambulance on interstate. I think the only damage is to the dual, maybe the mud flap. The patient was transferred to another ambulance and I went, took the crew another ambulance and limped the flat tire one. It had his dual, so 15, 20 mile an hour I took it to Corville Frame and Axle, which does our alignments normally. We were in Johnson County, the closest place I could get sure. But I knew that we already had an account with, and I knew they were due tires, so I wanted to try and get it fixed as soon as possible.
3 in the morning?
Yeah, 3 in the morning,
So I had a person in the ambulance.
So I said, just come pick me up at Corville Frame. I'm like, it's not very far into Corville. It's like 12th Avenue. It's not very far into town. Or maybe it's not 12, I don't know. But anyway, it's like IHOP, right? Where you turn for IHOP. Took it in there and then they gave me a ride back. Then I went and got cleaned up and came to work. And you said come early. I was like, that's better yet. Let's come to work. Let's get this day done or sooner than better.
You need a nap.
I might eventually. I don't know. We got wrestling. Supposed to have wrestling meeting about playing at 4:15, so.
Well,
I'm gonna get up.
I'm glad it was not a life-threatening deal for the person that was in.
No, it wasn't. Everything was fine. I mean, they weren't real comfortable. They hadn't experienced that before, so they didn't really want to drive it. They weren't sure.
I get it.
So I just took it, I mean, it was tow truck, I don't know, tow truck, I don't know how they would. They'd have to tow it backwards if they weren't gonna drive on it, but
Put it on a flatbed.
yeah, on a flatbed, I think he does. But, and they were pulled over along interstate. It's actually quite busy at 3 in the morning, semis.
Yeah, I would have done that, about that.
It's not overly busy. They can always, they can see your lights really good.
There at 7 AM.
Yeah, it's really foggy.
I was gonna say, to be here, I told him we could probably have him here by 10 if he wants.
Who?
Miller.
Hard test.
Yeah, he's supposed to. I told him that yesterday.
Well, thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Well done.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Can we take a break, please, sir?
Anything else? I want to take a break. We'll be on recess.
No.
Did you go for a jog?
Jogging.
Yeah, I turned it back.
What's that?
Did you go out for a jog?
No, I didn't know he was here already. I was like, oh, shit, I better get in there.
Call the meeting back to order. Mr. Miller,
Well, I handed you guys out a drawing. It's pretty close. What that drawing is showing you is the red line is the proposed new area to pour concrete. He got a little close to the building, the new jail, or excuse me, the new kitchen. We're gonna leave the sidewalk, but the rest of the new concrete would come out. The, areas with the X and the shaded lines in it is the original bid.
the solid square line.
Yep. The reason I brought this to your guys' attention is there probably could have been a little more, I don't think after the jail was awarded or decided to be removed, that there was much thought given on the final grade. I think the initial concrete was done as if the jail was going to be old jail, old kitchen, whatever you want to call it, was going to stay. Now that it's gone, what you're left with is a little bit of a mess with that ledge being there, the elevation dropping down. You got a garage drain that's kind of designed as a surface drain there that really is not probably efficient for the area it's for cover now. So what this drawing does is allows us to tear it all out, redo it, and surface drain it. So we'll do away with that area drain, just make it a clean out, and we'll surface drain it out the alley down to the intake to the city storm sewer. Cost wise is on the back. I think it came out to like $28,200. That's around $10.49 a square foot. That's actually less money per square foot than what the initial bid was. The initial bid that you guys have already accepted was at $13.19 a square foot. What that bid covers is a removal. There's some grading to do, some grade to cut, the sand, the rebar, and the concrete go back in. If you leave it the way it is, we can fulfill a contract just the way it is. It's just,
We're gonna have a hole back there.
you're gonna have a hole. I know that drain has to freeze because it sits about, what would you say, Woody, about 12 inches full of water all the time when it rains because the outlets are up higher. And obviously not.
That drain, sorry, Brian, the drain that's there now around.
Yeah, it's just a
concrete.
plastic.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a plastic.
Why did that get put in the first place? That is
Used to
piss
be
poor,
garage.
piss poor design.
Yeah, I don't, that was before my time, Chris, I'm not sure, but yes, it's not an ideal situation. It's not an intake.
They would have put it down at least another 2 foot.
I think
But
it was
probably-
just a garage drain at the
Yes.
time. I mean, there was a garage there at the time, like a shed type garage.
And then they ended up adapting it, tying into it, and it's just not a good situation for longevity and maintenance as far as keeping things from not freezing up. We have 2 eave spouts tied into that currently. So what we would do is tie them together and bring a clean out with a casting, which is all included in this price. So if you ever do need to clean it, you still have access to the drain, but it's not a drain, it's just acting as a clean out. All the water will go to the alley and then down the alley to the south. Otherwise, like I said, you got a spot, snows are sitting there now, you got a spot, you know, and like I said, we'll do it either way.
We leave a hole though, we got liability and tripping hazards and.
Yep, this levels everything out. It has a 1% slope on it, which is fine with concrete, which also is flat enough. They can shim up their LP tanks just a little bit, and then the LP tanks will still sit there. And as far as snow removal, I mean, it's the right way to do it. It's not the least expensive way to do it, obviously, but for long-term, for people that are here long after we're gone, they're not gonna be sitting here just like what Chris said. Why the hell did them guys do that on that floor drain?
So we'll end up taking out that new concrete we put in.
Well, we won't take, like we said,
All of it.
we'll leave the sidewalk and the stoop. But yeah, the rest of it's like 16 by,
The new concrete you poured in there.
besides the sidewalk, that sidewalk right in the
On
stoop.
the east side of the jail kitchen.
On the kitchen, we'll cut it right there on the sidewalk, we can save it because it's flat enough, we can save it, but the rest of that new concrete which is probably about 16 by 16 by
20
30.
by 30 or something.
Yeah. That will come out.
So, not to beat a dead horse here, but God darn it, we hired a general to manage this.
That's what bothers me more than anything.
It really bums me out because, I'm not a professional, but that entity is, and gosh darn it, that should have been recognized ahead of time, should have not.
I think, like I said,
Not your fault.
Yeah, no, I don't think the forethought went through because it talked, the jail wasn't gonna get tore down and stuff, so I think it was designed as if the jail was staying. And then we should have looked at it and said, all right, if the jail's being removed, we need to change the paving out here and adjust this accordingly once the jail is gone,
But we knew the jail was gonna get removed while even way before that sidewalk was ever poured. We knew that jail.
yeah, you knew at that point it was going to get done, and like I said, I don't think it dawned on anybody at that point in time. I know Michelle probably drew the plan up thinking the jail was going to stay, and it should have been adjusted.
It should have been, and
Yes.
that's what I'm wondering, do we have recourse with our general contractor to go back to him on this?
On what grounds?
Failure to foresee what, he knew we were taking that jail kitchen out.
Because at the beginning, the kitchen was going and staying. We were flipping back and forth for quite a while.
Oh, yeah, and in May, I relented and said, okay, I give up.
Right, but at that
And
point,
at that point, that concrete had not been poured and that jail kitchen didn't even get entered into until July.
but we had already approved that plan, so it's not, I don't think
Yeah,
it's.
is it
Alan, I
his
think-
responsibility or is it
Our
our
responsibility.
responsibility to tell him?
I think the argument would be there, it will work the way it's drawn and was bid. You can't argue that. It will work. Is it ideal? Is it very good? No, but will it work? Yes, it will work. But you have the trip hazard, you'll have the drain still in there. But, if I was on John's side, I was going to say, it will work the way it was drawn, and we tried to do it as least expensive as possible. It will work if we just follow the blueprint and do it the way he has it drawn up. It will work, but it's not ideal for the county for long-term by any means. But it will work. Yeah, we can do it just the way the print shows, and it will.
I don't
work.
want to do it the way the print shows. We need to do it the way you have it provided out here, because long-term, that's what we need to do. My question and point is, do we have recourse to go back to John and say, listen,
You can try, but I don't think you win, because I think it's partially our fault, because we didn't fully intend what was doing outside the scope of his job.
Well, and in our experience, we wouldn't see
Yeah,
this
I can
problem
kinda see
like you
that.
would. We wouldn't see the problem like he would.
His job was to hear, and we didn't say, taking this into account, so it's partially our fault for not. I don't know how you can.
Right, I see your point, but.
it's aggravating.
I think technically, if I remember right, my contract, everything was done through John except for the demolition of the old jail. And I think that was directly with you guys or directly.
I think it was.
Separate.
It was, yep, absolutely.
So,
Separate
So
project.
then we could have recourse on you then.
well, like I said, I can do it the way the print shows, but I, like Alan said, long-term and stuff, that's why we brought it to our attention before we went ahead and moved forward.
Getting the water to drain away naturally would be way better.
It takes one broken ankle to absolve that $28,000.
Somebody trip over that wall in the dark, or
The question I have is this all additional cost or is there still?
Yes,
some-
that's additional cost, above and beyond.
This is how it's finished, concrete poured, everything done.
And another question I have is I went out there before the meeting and thought, where you got your pink marks going on the east side, marking out the east, north, south boundary. Does that concrete actually have to come out or is that gotta come out because of some more grading you gotta do?
it's due to the slope.
Correct, to get the slope, yeah.
I just wondered if we could save.
And if you look at that east side of the old jail, if you look close, that's the best place to remove it to make their drain work because concrete's terrible. It's all butted up. You wouldn't want to, or all busted up. You wouldn't want to put new concrete up against that. For some reason, the west half of that alley is in really bad shape, and that's what we'll be replacing. The east half of that alley is in really good shape, and that we're going right to the center line, more or less, of the alley to get the fall.
I'm thinking this way to fix it is, like you said, better snow removal, probably more parking.
Safety
Accessible.
wise too.
And you'll gain some.
Let me ask you this, Brian, what will we do with that existing drain? I missed hearing what you said.
So what we'll
Take
do-
that in and be done
We'll
with it?
tie those two together and we'll bring it to the surface and it'll have a casting, that'll be flush with the concrete. So you have access to those pipes. So because they are the downspouts. So if you ever, we could just, a lot of east spouts, you don't have a way to get in there, but means everything's there. I think we should go ahead and put a casting in and bring it to the surface and that way you have access to it.
Kind of clean out, should we need it?
Yeah, the clean out is in the casting.
Okay.
It's all there. And that's included in this price. Yeah. The only thing that Daniel left out, and I threw it on there as an additional, is if, depending when you guys decide how wicked the temperatures get, if we have to blanket for a period of time, and he has to use blankets, and that's on that sheet as an additional,
With 3,500.
$3,600 on that. But
So it's
yeah,
gonna be up to 32,000 before we're done.
Well,
No, that's included.
Oh, that's included?
no, the 3,600 is not,
Oh, it's not.
it's not extended,
Oh,
all
yeah,
that's
yeah, I
not,
see.
not included. It all depends on what the weather does, this next week looks bad, the following week we're back into the,
50s.
low 50s, upper 40s, and not freezing at night, and if he can get it poured, I don't know what his schedule is, but that would be the only additional cost that is there.
Contractor's got time to do it yet this fall.
I told him that I knew if you guys wanted to do it, we needed to try our damnedest to get it done, so it was
Yes.
done for the winter, so
Well, I guess the
yeah.
biggest question is, do we have the money to do it?
It's allocated to finished.
If we're building maintenance, they'll have 30.
Yeah, you got it.
How much?
30? Turn the furnaces off for a while?
Yes, no?
I'd have to look at the budget. Maybe we'd have to cut some projects out. Like painting the jail and doing some stuff like that.
This is a safety issue. It needs to be resolved. If we're going to paint the jail for a year, then I suggest we have to do that, but this needs to get done. This is an accident waiting for happening.
And it won't ever get, I know we don't like the idea of tearing out a little bit of new concrete, but it won't ever get any less expensive. I mean, concrete goes up every year. We already have to do part of that as a contract, so yeah, it won't ever get any less expensive than right now to do it.
Can we find the money?
That sounds like we're gonna just change some projects around.
We're gonna have to.
So I'm hearing yes.
Yes. Is
I make a motion to approve the request.
there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion approved.
I think not just because we're doing the work, but I think that was a very wise decision for the long, like you said, so in 20 years, the more people aren't sitting up here in the board meeting saying, why the hell did the guys cobble that? Because now it'll be done right, and it'll be ready.
Well, all it would take is one inmate walking over, tripping, because I'm sure that's the route they pretty much take to take them over to here, don't they?
Yeah, one broken ankle.
Take them to the vans that are in the jail kitchen.
One broken ankle doubles that 28,000, so.
I'll let, my concrete guy know and get it on the schedule, try to get done,
Start ripping it out.
some of it here in the next, yeah, I'll wait till he's ready to come and then we'll start tearing it out and getting graded. And
Yes, I don't know how long it takes you to get ripped out and filled in.
it won't take us, a couple, 3 days and we'll have all that done and casting brought up and stuff ready to go. So yeah, we'll see. I know he's got some stuff to do at the hospital for me in a street patch in front of the high school. So we'll be a couple of weeks before we get there, but yeah, we'll get it the month of December for sure. unless all hell goes bad on us, but it doesn't look like it should. So, that's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ron.
Yep.
Is there anything else for today?